Hello Jeff, I hope you're fantastic today. In today's very stream, I want to share with you UPW parts 37. And today's theme is conditioning. So guys, what is actually conditioning is, I want to tell you about what's conditioning. And by the way, if you're curious, I'm also doing right now my YouTube stream. It's on pogodora or pogodora. If you just type in YouTube, you can jump into the stream right now in 4K and a better sound quality. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in. Conditioning. Conditioning is an ongoing process which you do not think about it. It is automatic. Yes, if you condition yourself, it is kind of, you are in this kind of condition. You're already there. You are, for example, you are right now in the American culture, or let me give you an example of Japanese culture because it's more present for myself. Like Japanese culture has tons of rules, how you have to behave, how you have to stand, how you have to bow yourself, how you have to greet others, how you have to put your feet, how you have to eat, and something like that. So many rules. And normally, like if you came as a foreigner there, you don't adapt to these rules. In Japanese, you get the gaijin card because most people will say, okay, cool, you are not Japanese, so they just say, okay, you don't know those rules, so it's nothing, not getting helped. Like I can tell you this rule, you can do it the next time, but first time when you don't know the rule, it's not your fault. Not knowing the rule, okay? So, but people who are living in Japan or has been born in Japan, they are actually born in the system, born there, and they have accumulated in their body and soul and character and everything is already in those rules. They have already adapted. They conditioned themselves to this situation where they're in, to this society rules that they are in, okay? So this happened already from them, not, they don't have to force it, it goes automatically, okay? When someone is against a rule, they get always, oh, you're against a rule? Normally it's not so. But most people get not frustrated, but they feel a little bit uncomfortable when someone is kind of breaking the rules, okay? Especially when it's an Asian person. Because like perception is every Asian person does look the same, but let me say so, every Asian, for Japanese, when someone is Asian, most people think this human being can speak Japanese, okay? Which is not always true. However, in most times it might be true. Now, this actually is like the last state of everything. But if you go to the first state, which is programming, and this is why NLP it calls neuro-linguistics programming, because you program your mind. And this thing is actually conscious. You do it conscious. However, conditioning is already subconscious. It is just automatic. So if you go like from programming, the next state will be like having this habit and doing over and over again as a routine, and then becomes automatically and becomes some conditioning. So you're already there. You have already wired your brain cells and your body and your soul and everything is wired in this thing. So you're conditioned. Okay. But before programming, it's actually conscious, and many people are doing the same big mistake in programming, which is they try to make someone to program them. Say, hey, can you put me a spell, or can you put me myself in hypnosis so you can program myself to not drink any alcohol anymore or not smoke anymore? And those things people are hoping. However, true programming that might help, but just for the short term. And then people has to be aware of it. They don't have to put themselves in this kind of condition to go back to the old patterns. Then they have the responsibility in them all. However, if you want to go for the long term, which I advise you, and when you want to change a habit or improve a habit, then you have to program yourself your own. You have to do it your own. Nobody can do it for you but just your own. And then you can do it for your eternity because you're doing your own. Okay? And thank you for watching, Payman. Really appreciate it. And yeah, when you program yourself, it is for forever. If you make someone program you, it be just short term. If you don't take the responsibility for condition to put yourself not in the condition of the old patterns. Now, in programming, there's another failure, and people fail the most because they program themselves, and then in between the interval of between from programming to programming sessions, they are thinking of the past. And thinking of the past is like you are, just imagine you're riding a car in a highway like 200 miles per hour, and yeah, you don't watch in the front mirror, but you just see the rear mirror. You just see the rear. You just see what's behind you. This is actually what's happened with people who are just concentrating on the past, and eventually will crash because you don't see the future. You don't see what's happened in front of you. You don't see what's happening now. Okay. And what's actually, some people say, don't be in the future, don't be in the past. I also said that one thing. However, if you be in the future, sometimes have a benefit. You can kind of fantasize and put yourself goals in the future. And this can be really powerful because you can set the goals, write them goals down, and then you have a goal, and then you strive towards this goal. And this is actually why people achieve what they achieve, because they set the goals and go towards it. However, if we don't setting these goals at all, but just being there in the future, we end up we close us at just being and building all these castles in the sky, and just being there, somewhere there, but not in the future. So it is good to be in the future. However, you have to pick this experience and work on it. You have to put into action. If you don't put into action, you end up be there. So don't do it. Reshape, I hope you have an awesome day. And as always, do not let your steps surpass you now. See you tomorrow.